1, 2, 3, clap.
How close is that?
Loud in my headphones. I don't know, I wasn't paying attention to you. Hi, and welcome to Hey Buddy, Nice Podcast over there in Scotland, celebrating a big bowl. That's Brogan Hastings.
And over there making fun of me because I like big bowls. No, cut that out! Cut that out! It's way too dramatic.
Oh, hell no. That is staying. You heard it here first. Brogan Hastings likes big bowls.
I cannot lie.
But
Two statement of facts that are true. I cannot fucking lie.
You can't lie, and you like big bowls. Wow, the music is really loud in my headphones.
Big bowl.
Yeah. That has become our chant, is big bowl, big bowl. Big bowl, big bowl, big bowl, big bowl. And that's because there's been an array of cheese bags who have come to our support. Not in the way of like we're like being like accused of murder and need defense or something like that. I mean monetarily on Patreon. And every time I get an email, or we get an email, like Brogan has access to the email as well, but every time it goes through to the inbox, I take a screenshot, send it through to you, and then we start the chant of big bowl, big bowl.
I think we did it like 2 or 3 times, like not on purpose. And then we were just like, we're just going to keep this.
Yeah. That just kept on going, yeah. That it became our bit.
Yeah. You send me the screenshot,
know.
I send back the name with a lot of exclamation marks, and we both say big bowl, big bowl, big bowl.
Yep. So just know that if you become a patron of Hey Buddy Nice Podcast, I will screenshot the email, send it to Brogan, and then we'll have a big bowl celebratory chant.
Yeah.
Just know that it will happen every time. And we have to give a shout out to our very first patron, the first person to jump on that, and that was Ranchan. You know, friend of the show, has sent in art crimes before. So, and did you hear that?
I did.
Badung? Okay.
And again.
That's fine. I'm good. Also has supported me on Twitch as well, that's, yeah. Thanks, Ranchan.
Thank you, Ranchan.
Ranchan stopped in by my video game stream today as well on Twitch and pointed out that I don't know what I'm doing on Twitch because they tried to clip something something stupid that I did and it didn't work. So it's like, it sure doesn't. I don't know how to set that up. So I'm still learning. I'm still getting there. Man, I really can't hear you, but I can hear myself so loud. Let me just mess around with my audio for a sec.
We're also recording the video for this, so if we save this,
unfortunately,
if this gets kept on, it's probably better just for clips.
Yeah. It's feeling like big bowl, big bowl, big bowl, big bowl, and I punch my microphone at the same time. Yeah. But yeah, we're honestly, I already the support that we've gotten from cheese bags and scoops, etc. I wasn't expecting it, really.
I wasn't expecting any.
No. Yeah, honestly, I was expecting my mother, who hasn't had nothing. I did get an email notification though saying that my mother has subscribed to $5 level on Patreon. I'm like, oh cool, I'll have to send that through to Brogan. Then I went to look for it and it wasn't in our emails. I'm like, what the hell? Did she already pledge and then delete? Man, what the hell's up with my mother? But then I realized it was the not so good at this Patreon, and she was just changing her pledge. So I can't complain. She's
down?
still giving me money. Up,
all right, okay.
Because I think she changed it down for a month and then went back up.
Okay.
So yeah.
My mum doesn't know if she's allowed to look at it.
At the Patreon.
She's like, I don't know what I'm allowed to look at and what I'm not. Because bearing in mind, when we first started this, like my Instagram was locked. You know, you had to request a follow, and I'm like,
yeah.
I think the longer we do this, the less self-conscious about it I am.
Probably.
So I said to Mum, instead of it being the case of I have to specifically tell you you're allowed to look at this, it's now you're allowed to look at this unless I specifically tell you. But I make no promises of what you find there. You know
exactly. Yeah, there could be tasteful nudes. There could be anything. I'm not talking about of us. No. I'm talking about like hunky boy tasteful nudes.
No. Yeah. My feet pick account is another account.
Yeah.
7 billion toes.
Oh, that needs to be drawn. Just artwork of feet with like so many toes on it. So, has your mum seen the Year of the Hunky Boy artwork at all?
I think she might have. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll be honest.
All right.
I know
Well,
that she saw I know that she saw the Cece and Niall stuff because
how much of it? The stuff on Tumblr?
yeah, well, the stuff that you went, Jesus Christ, Brogan.
Jesus Christ, Brogan.
and my mum was like, what? And I was like, I'll show you. It's not that bad. She's like, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad. No, when you're not expecting
when
it.
You're not expecting.
That's
I
all.
was like, yeah, it's not my usual forte.
Yeah, it's a smack in the face. It's not an assault or anything, but it's just unexpected.
Yeah,
that's all.
It would be like Matt Donnelly doing the iPhone calculator lift someone up weight trick, and then ripping open his shirt and he's got a bra on for no reason. You're just like, oh Jesus Christ, Matt! You're not expecting. It's not bad. You're not, but you're not expecting it.
I don't know. He wouldn't do it. I know he wouldn't. Because they've talked about that before, that sort of stuff. Those sort of tricks that are not really tasteful nowadays.
Oh, yeah. No, I just mean like the whole surprise element that you just like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. If I saw Matt Donnelly in a bra, I would not be offended.
No.
I mean, I wouldn't be aroused, but I wouldn't be offended. Okay. Maybe I would. I don't know. I'm putting the call out, Matt. Look. Send some tasteful notes and we'll see what happens.
We love and support Matt Donnelly either way.
Yeah.
Tasteful notes or not.
What about Jacob then? What if Jacob was the one in the bra? Audio guy in our hearts.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think it's his style. I don't think he needs it. I think Jacob is more of a pasties.
Jacob is definitely more of a pasties.
Yeah, Jacob is more of a pasties. Whereas Paul, he's just like, he's let loose.
Oh, yeah.
That's nothing under. No, there we go, yep, nothing.
I love these boys have suffered enough. I will not be drawing this.
Oh, God, I will.
There was something, what was it? I posted something and Slaking replied to it with that photo manipulation of Matt's face on Sean Connery's body, and what was it? What's that terrible, terrible film?
Oh, where he's wearing like the red G-string thing? Yeah.
Does it look better?
Outlander? Something like that? Yeah.
Something like that.
I know what you're talking about.
And I was like, do I draw Matt Donnelly in this, or has he suffered enough? I'm like, he has suffered enough.
Hey, look, he's worn the singlet in
he's paid
50
his
Shades,
dues.
the musical parody.
He's served his time.
Yeah. Yeah, he's done. He does no more. No more is needed. I'm watching a television show at the moment with Tom Holland, where Tom Holland is in prison.
Oh.
I don't know how much I want to talk about it because it is spoilery.
He looks like he would walk into prison and be snapped like a twig immediately.
Oh yeah, especially this character. Look, I mean, it's not really spoiling anything unless you know nothing about it.
I don't know anything about it, but I don't know what TV show you're talking about.
It's called The Crowded Room.
Heard of this
right? One. Okay. I'm just gonna look. I'm gonna hit the spoiler music anyway, because I want to talk about it. Is that too loud for you? It's very loud for me. Okay, we'll leave it as is then.
If it's too loud for you, turn it down.
No. So it's called The Crowded Room. I've already got my audio levels set nicely now. So Crowded Room, right? And starts off Tom Holland and a girl there in Rockefeller Center, Rockefeller Plaza, and he pulls out a gun and she's like, shoot him, and he can't do it. So she grabs the gun and starts shooting. And then next thing you know, Tom Holland is arrested. They can't find the girl. That's how it starts, right? That's how Tom Holland ends up in prison. And I think the first thing Kez said was, the crowded room is his head. Suggesting multiple personalities. And it has said it in the credits, opening credits every time, based on the book, the minds of Billy Milligan. Billy Milligan, is that his name? I'm lost now. I think it is, yeah, because the character is Danny Sullivan, and I'm like, oh my god, they've just said his name for the 100th time, and it's just clicked in my head, Billy Milligan. I know who that is.
Yeah.
So it's based sort of on a true story, where, yeah, this guy did have X amount of personalities in his head, and it's about that, and it's a slow progression in the show, but it's not like Fight Club where it's a sudden reveal.
Yeah.
There's clues there like
Closer
the whole
to
time,
Split.
and yes, and what's hilarious is Split. James McAvoy is also British, is he not?
Yes.
And
Scottish.
one of his Scottish. Oh, okay. Wow, my bad. Never mind then. I was gonna say because one of his characters was British, but in this, one of Tom Holland's personalities is British, and he just starts talking with his normal voice because through the whole show he's speaking with an American accent. But then he has to try and let it break a bit to the American accent coming through, and he does a good job. Yeah. I just thought I'd talk about that show because I've been watching it, so I ended the spoiler music. But also, it kind of leads into a brand new segment on Hey Buddy Nice podcast. What has Brogan Hastings been watching besides The Nanny?
What has Brogan Hastings been watching, parenthesis, apart from The Nanny?
Exactly.
Yeah, I did actually start watching something because with The Nanny, I realised I could put... You and I had talked about this, where I was like, oh, I can't watch it on my thing. You're like, put it on a hard drive and plug it into something, you idiot.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
did I say
that's
that?
a good idea.
You idiot.
Yeah. And since I've unplugged my PlayStation 5, I no longer have access to Crunchyroll. It's not that I don't have access to it, it's that I need to access it through the PlayStation, which means I need to plug it in, which is a lot. I will do it eventually, but...
Is Crunchyroll a paid subscription?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So you want to get that up and running again.
It's
have you still not plugged your PS5 in?
It's like £3 a month.
And you haven't hooked up your PlayStation 5 yet?
No.
Again?
No.
Wow.
I need to.
Okay.
I can access it on my phone and on my iPad, so I can see all the things. But yeah, anyway, I thought, well, you're going to laugh at me. One series that I had been watching, I'd kind of fallen off and kind of wanted to get back to. It's called Moriarty the Patriot.
Is that just a coincidence?
I had been watching it already. I kind of, but yeah, I really wanted to get back to it because I'm on the whole Moriarty kick.
Yep. All right. But you had started that before The Nanny.
I had.
And knowing that Danny Davis was in Star Trek as Moriarty.
Would I have gone back to it
circle.
if Danny Davis wasn't Moriarty and all that kind of things? I don't know. I will say I do enjoy it. I really enjoy it.
That's fine then.
You know.
That's good. What is it about? Is it in the Sherlock Holmes universe?
Yes, it's essentially Sherlock Holmes, but from Moriarty's perspective, from the beginning, like origin stories. So even one of the episodes, maybe episode 6 and 7, is when it's the first episode that you follow Sherlock, and it's when he gets Watson as his roommate, and stuff. But it's basically like instead of with Sherlock, people come to Sherlock to get mysteries solved and people get put in jail. With Moriarty, it's like people have been wronged and these people must die. I'm going to give you the means to kill them.
Hang on. So let's say you're Moriarty. I'm someone who has been wronged. Yeah. I approach you and you help me.
Okay, you have been wronged. Let me give you the scenario. You have been wronged by an aristocrat. So one of the situations is this couple worked for this lord whatever. Big story.
For the sake of the story, it is going to be Lord Donnelly.
Lord Donnelly. 3-year-old son, whatever, is deathly ill. There's a storm. The doctor is not in the village. Take it up to the mansion. The aristocrat's like, nah, fuck off, your servants.
So I'm like, oh, Lord Donnelly, please, my 3-year-old son is dying of, I don't know, the plague?
Yep.
Is that the wrong era?
Like that.
Yep, the plague. Please, sir, please help my poor child. The doctor is not in the village. And Matt Donnelly says,
fuck off. You're poor. Okay. Fuck off. I employ you as a gardener.
Can I at least see you in your brassiere? So
that happens. Then Moriarty finds out about this and is like, This dude needs to fucking die.
But, I mean, come on. This aristocrat man, Lord Dude, Lord Donnelly, it's not like he's just not helping. That's all.
Oh, like viciously mean about it. Like...
Okay, that's fine then.
Like disgusting human being.
Yeah, kicks him down in the dirt.
This is the thing we know
spits
about.
on the child's face.
This is the thing we know about. That's the thing.
Okay. All right.
You know, so this lord takes heart medication and he grows exotic fruit. So they start feeding him grapefruit. Which, if you don't know, grapefruit...
Wait, he takes heart medication or does he take antidepressants?
He takes heart medication. He has a heart problem.
Okay, because grapefruit is not good for him if he's on
grapefruit fucks, but he's never has grapefruit. He grows grapefruit. He's like, I just thought they were nice to look at. It's like, no, here's grapefruit jam, here's grapefruit juice. You know, take your heart medication, wash it down with grapefruit juice.
You like big bowls, he likes big balls of fruit.
Yeah, pretty much. Or that's probably the most tame example. The other one, there was a guy who just let people loose on his ground and hunted them for sport.
Yeah, hunt people for sport, yeah. It's a common story.
Yeah. You know, stuff like that.
I think it's happened to Jean-Claude Van Damme before. I think it's also happened to Ice-T, where John C. McGinley was trying to kill Ice-T. True story. Well, you know, true story in the sense of it was fictional universe of a movie.
And within the context of the story, true story.
Yeah.
But yeah, so things like that. It's like once these people are dying, that's when their crimes comes out, that kind of thing. So consulting criminal, Moriarty.
So, but that means one of these, let's say Lord Donnelly, right, doesn't die by the hand of Moriarty. He then has the right to approach Moriarty and say, I've been wronged by Moriarty.
No.
Oh, come on now. I think it's fair game.
The person always dies.
Yeah, right, but if they
ain't leaving
didn't...
that shit to chance.
Because it's not exactly a Robin Hood story here. I mean, Moriarty's not a good guy.
The whole point is that the world is imperfect. The world is full of people who are evil. And to create the perfect society, we must get rid of these people.
That's Moriarty's code, is it?
That's Moriarty's code.
Okay.
He doesn't have a problem with aristocrats in general. He has a problem with people who treat other people like dirt, like playthings.
So he has a problem with aristocrats. In other words. Yeah.
There's a whole thing. He's adopted by an aristocratic family, and that family was absolute shit apart from the oldest son. So they kill him. Oh.
So Moriarty kills the family that adopted him, except for the
They were
son?
absolute fucking garbage people. I will say that.
Okay. All right. I see you're drinking a Monster today.
Yes.
I'm drinking Pepsi Max, and I got called out on my Pepsi Max drinking, and I'm not happy about it.
Why? Why were you called out? No, why were you drinking Pepsi Max?
Why was I drinking Pepsi Max? Because I was thirsty. I'll send you the... So, I said that I was like, I'm drinking Pepsi Max. And Pepsi Max is trash, and now I'm worried my only friend is terrible, skull face. So my reply was, trash drink for trash person then. If that's how it goes, I shall be a trash person. I am trash. I mean, speaking of trash people, I'm not an aristocrat, but yeah, I'm a trash person. I will defend Pepsi Max till my dying breath.
But does that make you the human equivalent of a trash panda?
No, because unlike a panda, I lack the opposable thumbs.
Okay,
that creeps
you
out
took
my
that
brother
in a weird
Ryan.
direction, mate.
My brother Ryan is almost offended or creeped out by the fact that trash pandas have thumbs. Look, I'm not going to try to be adopted by someone to live in their house and eat their trash.
Why not?
I'm not that cute.
Life goals.
I'm not that cuddly. Depends who it is, right? Depends who it is. I mean, yeah, no.
Sugar baby, but instead it's a trash baby.
Trash baby. A trash baby. Look, PSA. Don't look. Trash babies happen, but if anywhere, take it to a fire station. Don't put it in the trash. Give it a fighting chance.
Oh, there was an entire novel about that when I was a kid called Dustbin Baby by a really popular writer called Jacqueline Wilson, who wrote books for kids. And looking back, I was like, oh my god, we read this.
So it's called Trash Can Baby.
Dustbin Baby.
Dustbin Baby. No, it doesn't have the same. It doesn't roll off the tongue as well as Big Bowl, but you could almost get a chant going from that. Yeah. Dustbin Baby. dustbin, baby.
The one I really remember was Love Lesson, which I think is one of the first ones that Jacqueline Wilson wrote for an older audience. But
Okay.
I don't think any of us realised when I got the book that it was for an older audience.
Oh.
Yeah, that scarred me for life isn't exactly correct. But it definitely shaped me as a human being.
It scratched you for life.
Yeah.
Do you care to elaborate?
So this book is essentially about this girl. Home life's not great. She goes to school and she essentially falls in love with her art teacher.
Okay.
They become really close. He kisses her, or she kisses him.
Mm-hmm. And I'm guessing she's like 15, 16.
Yeah, she's a child.
Yeah.
And he's a married man. And it's just,
do we need spoiler music for this?
I mean, this book is like, 15, 20 years old.
Okay, just making sure it's not a new release or something.
God, no. No, I read this when I was a child. I was too young for this when I read it.
So did you, just a bit more context, did you read this off your own back because you wanted to read it, or was it like a signed reading from school?
No, I was very into the Jacqueline Wilson books when I was a kid.
Okay.
And I think it's one of these things that I seen a new Jacqueline Wilson book and I was like, oh, yes! Picked it up and I don't know if it was, someone must have bought me it because I had it in hardcover.
Yeah.
And I think it's still up in the attic somewhere. But I don't think I have a funny feeling it was on the table in a bookshop. So it wasn't in section as such. So I don't think anybody clicked that it was like for young adults. Let me see.
Yeah, and no one read the blurb.
I think even if we read the you can't really tell with Jacqueline Wilson books because Dustbin
Hang on,
Baby...
it was for young adults. Young adults. How old were you? Were you like 9 or something? What the hell?
That's what I'm just checking. It was...
There's a lot of these books, right, that are like assigned reading for like English and language class. They're quite often trying to send a message of some sort as well.
Yeah.
It's not just like an entertaining book for entertaining purposes.
Intended for older readers, and it was published in 2005, so I would have been 11.
Okay.
And I think I was a bit too young for it. I'm thinking if maybe should have 14 or 15 to really understand it. To
Yep. So you were not advanced for your age, is what you're saying.
Emotionally, no.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, definitely not. I'm not. I don't even know if I'm emotionally on my own level now.
Yeah, exactly. You probably don't revisit this book just in case.
I might. 14-year-old narrator Prue King.
14-year-old.
Yeah, 14-year-old narrator Prue King.
Oh.
Homeschooled. So they were homeschooled, but they're forced to go to school after their dad has a stroke.
Okay.
Introverted and artistic, bad at mathematics. Doesn't fit in well, but soon develops a close relationship with art teacher Mr. Raxbury, Rax. She does not have many friends after some girls at school harass her for the lingerie she bought using money she was given to me for math tuition. Prue realises that she has fallen in love with Rax, and Rax, known as Keith Raxbury, somewhat reciprocates despite being married with children, whom Prue occasionally babysits. Eventually, Prue moves to
somewhat reciprocates, even though he's married with children. Yeah. Okay, he's Al Bundy.
I think that's the bit that's in my head is he's driving her home after she babysat the kid. And there's a kiss in the car, and I can't remember who instigated it.
Maybe it wasn't like a Homer Simpson driving the babysitter home, and the gummy Milo Davinas was stuck to her butt or something. No, it wasn't one of those situations.
I think that book is entirely responsible for my taste in older men. Entirely.
But it's meant to be a warning book, isn't it?
Too young. Read it too young.
You need to maybe you do need to reread. Oh no, I'm not saying that. You do what you want. You like what you like. That's fine. Yeah. Cool. See, I didn't read much, as you can tell by my limited vocabulary. Hence why we have a segment on Hey Buddy Nice podcast dedicated to learning new words. But the only book I ever completed for school reading, which was mandatory reading, it was called Water Wings, and it was by an author who always would write children's books or young adult and stuff like that. And in the first 2 chapters, the main character's pet hamster dies, and then the rest of the book is about some woman wanting to die.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's right. But has cancer, but is pushing the euthanasia debate and stuff like that. So it's like always trying to push a message. That's the only book I fully read because I felt like if I didn't, I wouldn't be able to fake my way through doing the assignments. Whereas usually, like it's not pre-internet, but I never had the thought to look online for like cheat notes and stuff. So the rest of the time I was just winging my way through book reports and stuff. It's like, oh yes, this horse girl book was about a girl and a horse. The girl was in a wheelchair and had horse therapy.
Horse girl books have the exact same plot every time.
This was wheelchair horse girl book. This.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. If you know what you like, you know what you like. And sometimes you just want to read the exact same book with different characters.
It's like Hallmark Christmas movies.
Exactly.
They're all exactly this. Yeah. It's I had another example, but it's gone from my head now. No, I had it. It's gone.
I read a lot when I was a kid. I read Hunt for Red October when I was in high school. I think maybe when I was probably about the same time I read Love Lesson, and I understood Hunt for Red October better than I understood that. What does that say about me?
You're old enough for Hunt. You were old enough for the Hunt.
Yeah.
So when you were reading it, were you like picturing Sean Connery?
I know, because I didn't know there was a movie.
Oh, wow. Have you seen the movie since?
Seen the movie. I have since seen the movie because Danny Davis is in it.
Really? So you've only seen it recently then?
I think I had seen parts of it before, but I've only actually watched it fully recently. It's a good movie.
I've never seen The Hunt for Red October. At any point at all, does Sean Connery said, "We're now on the hunt for the Red October"?
No, because he's on the Red October. They're hunting him.
Oh. Okay, wow. Does he ever say, "Now they're on the hunt for the Red October"? No. My Sean Connery faded a bit there.
No, it doesn't, sadly.
Damn it.
I know.
That's a shame.
It's a travesty.
What a shame. Yeah.
But the actual book that I do remember from high school was, and like this scarred me, was called The Cone Gatherers, because our English teacher was obsessed with giving us like Scottish books and, short stories and poetry. He loved all that shit. Fucking Cone Gatherers, man. Hate that book. I hate that book with a fucking passion.
So Cone Gatherers, I'm picturing a cult?
Nope.
Who gather pine cones? No, okay.
It's probably closer.
Stoners
it's probably
bringing their cone
to,
pieces together.
It's probably closer to Of Mice and Men.
Okay.
It's in the sense that it's so. Is
it correct? I'm not 100% sure. Is it Of Mice and Men? Look at the bunnies, George. Let me tell you about the bunnies.
I think so. Yeah.
Or is that a different one? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, man with a brother who's developmentally delayed.
Yeah.
Who's an excellent climber, Oh,
of course.
They work on this big estate, and the groundskeeper, Judah, who I fucking remember his name too. And he hates them, and he eventually shoots the developmentally delayed,
Yeah, that sounds like...
They find him hanging in the forest.
Story.
It's horrible. It's fucking horrible.
Yep.
Like, why the fuck did you make us read this, sir?
Yeah. They may as well have made you watch Watership Down, which we were talking about the other week. Difference being it's rabbits and not people.
Yeah. I mean, I've had people, I don't know if it was just, if this is a person I knew. I started, maybe about 5-7 years ago, I made a post on, or I reblogged a post on Tumblr, and it was like, what is the one book from your English class that you would burn or whatever? I put in the text Cone Gatherers, and somebody messaged me and says, "Don't ever mention that fucking book to me again."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if this was somebody I knew in real life that was in that class, or if it's just a shared experience that we were all like, fucking hell.
I don't think, by the sound of it, I don't think anybody likes that book.
No. I mean...
another book that we were forced to read was The Outsiders, which I think is a fairly typical book to read. Yeah, but then we watched the movie afterwards, and the scene where they're on the run from the law and he shaves his head and dyes it blonde, and it just looks so bad. Like, the whole class just burst out laughing. It's like, this is not meant to be a funny scene. Why are you all laughing? It's like, because he looks like an idiot.
I think the best book I ever read for English was when they gave us... So in my first year of high school, they gave us a choice. There's like, pick one book, read it, and then write an essay on it. And there was, I would say, about 50% of the class picked Harry Potter.
Of course.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
I picked Goodnight, Mr. Tom, which I remember because this is back in the day where you got proper prizes in cereal. I got it free in cereal or something like that.
I really thought you were going to say Goodnight Moon, the children's picture book.
No, Goodnight, Mr. Tom. And fuck, I love that book. I love that movie. It's like,
I don't even know what it is.
Oh my god. Okay, so set in World War II, kids are getting evacuated from London, going to live in the country.
Ding.
Out in the country, there's this old man called Mr. Tom, and he is grumpy as fuck. He's like the outsider, but has to take a kid because it's everybody's duty. He gets this little kid called William, who is very clearly being abused. Like, very clearly, like, wets the bed, is terrified, will not say anything. His mum is sent him with a belt that he's to be hit with, whatever. You know, spend some time with Mr. Tom, and he opens up. Turns out Mr. Tom's a total grump because his wife and his kid died when they were young.
That old chestnut.
Yeah. You know, he flourishes under Mr. Tom's care. And spoilers for the book. This kid eventually gets sent back to London, but he promises to write to Mr. Tom. Mr. Tom doesn't hear anything, goes to find him, and finds that William's been locked in a cupboard at home with his newborn baby sister for weeks. Mm-hmm. The baby sister's dead. But it's just been abandoned by the mother, who obviously had mental health problems, was very religious, just was not there. So he saves William, and he comes back, and he lives. It's just a really, really good book.
Happy ending.
It is a happy ending.
Question mark?
Oh no, it is a happy ending because I think if I remember the last.
Not for the dead baby, it ain't.
No, I know. It was hard because it like that was the thing. He was like, I tried so hard to. It was like, I know you did, baby. I know. You were locked in a cupboard. You didn't execute.
It's also not the ending. Like, sure, maybe the book sounds like it's got a happy ending, but that is not the ending.
That's not the ending.
That kid. Oh, okay.
The end.
Do they go into the kid growing up and having all this traumatic experiences, life experiences, and suffering with PTSD?
I don't know, because the book ends with he's been back with Mr. Tom for a while. Because it does go through the PTSD. That goes, like, he had to go to a hospital, and, you know, because that was the thing. They took him from the house, put him into a hospital, and then Mr. Tom kidnaps him from the hospital because he's, like, being abused at the hospital.
Of course.
And they track him down, and they're like, you know what, this kid's actually much better off here. And the last scene of the book is he's learned to ride a bike, and he's like, Dad, I learned to ride a bike, and it's like, he calls him Dad. It's so cute.
And Mr. Tom's like, hey, you're dad, kid.
No,
Wait, how old was Mr. Tom?
Fucking thrilled.
You say old man Mr. Tom. Was he, like, probably in his 30s or something?
Oh, no, like, in the movie, he had white hair.
Okay, but Steve Martin's had white hair for, like, ever.
Like, grizzly
since
old man
30s.
looking. Let me
All I can think is ground control to Mr. Tom. The kid's locked in a cupboard with a dead baby.
It is a good movie. Good night.
I can tell you now, I'm not going to watch it.
No, I know you. I know you're not.
Is it a Scottish movie?
No, it's not.
Or Scottish book? Okay, just asking. I'm already sharing screen, so I probably can't see your screen. I don't know how. Ooh, apparently I can.
You'll have to turn your sound sharing back on. There, do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, yep. It doesn't look... when was this movie released? 1998. Okay. Yeah. Good night, Mr. Tom. Okay. Good night, child. Don't try not to think about your dead baby's sister.
There's a cute dog in the film as well.
Does the dog die?
No, the dog does not die. The dog protects them.
Good. Dog should not die. Otherwise, it's a failure of a movie.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
With the one exception being John Wick. Because that's exactly what should happen when a dog dies in a movie.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think I need to go into some coffee talk.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if I've got it queued up anymore because I accidentally deleted it. Oh, here it is. No, I'm getting a warning message saying no can do.
No can do, buddy.
No, doesn't like it. I accidentally deleted shit on my Stream Deck while I was setting up your memo for later. Which good thing I made a backup of it recently.
Yeah.
What was I supposed? Coffee talk. I'll insert it post production. There we go. Oh, coffee talk
it's
thing.
Time for coffee talk. Saving those turtles one straw at a time. Yeah. See, who needs music when you've got me? Yeah.
Exactly.
It's time for Coffee Talk. Saving those turtles one straw at a time.
Okay, I think I've mentioned this before, where I went to McDonald's and ordered a coffee, Macca's, got a coffee and got the wrong one and thought it was like their special limited edition one, which I know now wasn't because it just tasted sweet.
Yeah.
Because their limited edition one at the moment, it's celebrating like 30 years of McCafe in Australia. So it's birthday cake latte. So I'm like, what the fuck flavor is birthday cake? Like, I'm aware it's probably meant to taste like cake. Yeah. But I'm like, okay, but what are they using in it to make it taste like this? And there's nothing on their menu about what it is. So I go to their website to look it up, not there. So I'm searching like nutritional information of birthday cake latte. And I find it, and I find the ingredients. And it says, like, well, if you're having milk, it's got this and blah, 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 which obviously in a latte you're having milk. But then it just says birthday cake flavored powder. And that's it. Like, what the fuck is that flavor? That is not, like, I need to know what chemicals it is.
I mean, it's the most American thing ever, because Americans love birthday cake flavoured stuff.
Yeah.
But to me, it's just vanilla.
Like birthday cake Oreos and with sprinkles.
Yeah, vanilla with sprinkles.
Is about it, which is vanilla with sugar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
extra
maybe
sweet
they're
vanilla.
Maybe they're taking a birthday cake, turning it in, dehydrating it, and turning it into a powder. Possibly. But I highly doubt that. It's unlikely.
You don't know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, fine. Let me call up Mr. John McDonald's now and find out for sure, hey?
I believe his name is Ronald.
I'll send him a letter. I'll say, no, Ronald is the figurehead. He's the patsy at the front.
The ball guy.
Yeah. But then again, at least we don't have the Grimace shake.
I was about to say, is this for Grimace?
No, this is for McCafe. I don't really know the whole thing about this Grimace birthday shake that is allegedly killing people, or is it just a TikTok thing?
I think that's a TikTok thing.
Yeah, okay, cool. That's fine. But, okay, so the candy, right? Do you enjoy candy?
In what sense? What do you mean when you refer to candy?
Oh, no. I've lost my timer. No, I haven't. There it is. Candy. Like, candy. The edible kind.
Like, are you including chocolate, or are you just talking, like, hard-boiled sweets?
Well, let's go hard sweets. Let's go sweets.
I like sweets.
Okay, cool. Are you familiar with warheads?
Yes.
Do you like warheads? Do you enjoy warheads?
No, because I don't... Warheads are hot, sour, aren't they?
Sour.
Yeah, I'm not...
Or you used to be able to get hot ones.
I'm not a huge fan of that. I like my stuff sweet.
Well, that's the thing. A warhead starts off sour, but then it goes sweet. I bought a pack of warheads, right? Say little warheads. And because they're like one of my favourite candies. And it's been years since I've had them. And I'm popping a couple of these warheads, and I'm like, they've done me bad. They've changed them altogether. The flavour, the texture, the whole recipe is different. So, I mean, you don't care because you don't eat them. So maybe there's some cheese bags who can relate to my sadness of warheads. What kind of candies do you prefer then? Like sweet, obviously. Do you have like a preference?
I think
if you were going to go to if you went to ye old lolly shop, what would your candy choice be other than chocolate?
I mean, if you want specifics, I like Parma Violets. I like pressed powder candies.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like foam candies, like foam bananas, foam shrimps, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Circus peanuts.
Yep.
They were good.
They were good.
I don't like when we were in Vegas. Chris the Microscope was like, oh, gonna have to have you try circus peanuts, as if we're gonna hate them. Yeah. And they taste exactly like foam candy bananas. Yeah. I was like, these are great, Chris. What are you talking about?
Well,
and then I think it was Sydney afterwards as well was like, oh, we're gonna get you to try circus peanuts.
What is wrong with y'all that you don't like circus peanuts?
Yeah, there is nothing wrong with it.
No, it was like Chris was gobsmacked because he got Necco wafers and he's like, I don't know why I get these. They're fucking awful. And I tried them. I'm like, these are fucking great, actually.
Did I have? I think I tried your Necco wafers though, like a cinnamony one or something.
Possibly.
I
got a normal pack and I got a chocolate pack. The chocolate pack, surprisingly to me, was not good.
Yeah.
But I liked Necco wafers.
Okay.
I like stuff like Haribos that have the foam bottoms of the Love Hearts, the sharks especially.
Oh, yeah. So when you say foam bottom, like jelly on top and
white foam on the bottom.
Yeah. Yep. Like a strawberries and cream or something like that. I don't know if you've got them.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, I like a lot of candies like that. Nugget, I like nugget or nougat or however you pronounce it.
Oh, nougat, actual nougat.
Yeah.
Nougat.
There's
nougat.
a sweet that you can get here that's white and pink. It's like 2 stripes on the bar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's like, it's pocket money candy. But
yeah,
I like that. I do think Parma Violets are probably one of my favourites though.
And they're flavoured like the flower violet. What's the flavour again?
I think it is violet.
I've tried them and I did not like it.
I like it. I don't know why. I don't know if it reminds me of childhood or something like that. But
no.
Yeah, I could and have done eaten a whole packet.
Yeah. Kez's mum found out that we had fries creams and she was like, "What? Where can I get these?" Very jealous of having the fries cream. I should ask her if she's ever had it in bread.
I want a brioche roll.
Yeah, on a brioche. Too fancy for me. Too fancy. We should get into a little bit of Vegas talk, I think. Now, let's start. I only know about this because of your reaction to it. Is that Penn and Teller have had their show extended at the Rio All Suites Hotel and Casino in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yes, as it should be. So they're well on their way to 25 years, which excellent news, and was the reason I discovered I could use multiple GIFs in one reaction post.
Yep. I mean, it's good. I mean, it means we'll definitely see them again.
100%.
It means they'll be there with us. But I finally, because when we were away, you purchased yourself music to look at boxes by on CD. And then I was like, "Oh, what? Where you got that? Where'd you get that?" And because it's not available online, not even to pirate.
No.
And then you're like, "Surprise! Here's one for you." Yeah. On the condition that you digitize it so you can listen to it, because yours remains factory sealed. So I finally got around to doing that this week, and there's songs on there that just make I don't want to say sad, but
nostalgic.
It's nostalgic for wanting to be back in the theater.
Yeah, I think for me it makes the show before the show make more sense, because I was always like, why does the show before the show not have the music that Jonesy and Penn play before the show?
Yeah,
because it's all on music to watch boxes to look at boxes by.
Exactly. Yep. But, I mean, the Penn and Teller theme, which plays at the end of their show, is on music to look at boxes by, watch boxes by.
And Lift Off to Love. Oh, that song. Love it.
I had no idea that it was 2 songs, had 2 titles. Lift Off to Love and Lift Off of Love and Rip Off of Love. Yes. I had no idea that it was 2 titles. Because it's essentially 2 songs. Yeah. Oh, when it kicks into the second half of that song, I love that.
So good. But I was surprised there was one. Hang on a second. I want to get the title right, so I'm looking at it. Black Orpheus. I really, really love. That is one of my favourite tunes to hear them play. It's all good. It's all so fucking.
Did you also notice I included scans of the CD and the jacket?
I did!
Because I know that you weren't going to open yours, so I was like, I'll take some scans and send them as well.
That CD print is just... Taylor's on it! My boy!
Yeah. And Jonesy, he's laying on it, like on the cover, Jonesy looks fine, but when he's laying on his back on the CD, he looks a little more cuddly.
Yeah.
He looks a tad cuddlier.
I do. Yeah. I'm looking at the back of the CD right now, and Taylor sitting in that wooden box is the cutest fucking thing in the world. But yeah, I was listening to that in work. I was like, I want to be back in the Penn and Teller theater. Yeah.
But also in Vegas news, I mean, we kind of saw the development of this over the last couple of years, is the Madison Square Garden Sphere.
Oh my God.
being built. I don't know how I feel about it, seeing I was not aware that it is staying turned on 100% of the time. Is that the deal? Is that what's going on here?
I think so. I mean, I don't know how much power that thing's used. It's fucking Christ.
Oh, yeah, of course, that too. For those who don't know, it's a giant spherical arena, and it's made up entirely of screens on the outside, which is just constantly playing things like videos and images. The thing I can compare it to is, you know, that big tower that my comics were on in Perth?
Yes.
Kind of like that on a humongous scale.
Yep.
And I feel like it might pay off. Like, in my head, it makes sense that they should do that, like a community thing as well, and put community art on it.
Considering that Vegas is very much an artistic town, you know, which we've seen, you know, shops with art by local artists.
Exactly.
Stuff like that. Yeah. And but at the same time, they have something very similar in one of the malls. And it's not the fashion mall. I think it's Resorts World, actually. That they've got a miniature sphere like that where they put adverts for stuff all the time. So they've got like templates.
Okay. Yeah. But I'm not even talking, I'm talking about like, just local artwork with the artist referenced, tagged.
Yeah.
That's all. Not, I mean,
I don't know how that
no
would
doubt
work on a sphere.
it's gonna end.
I don't know how it would look.
Well, I didn't know how it was going to work on a cylinder for my comics, but it worked out. But yeah, I mean, obviously, you'd have to curate your content for it. Yeah. And no doubt, it's going to go advertising at some point. I mean, technically, it already is, like with the NBL basketball for the mid-season competition that's just going to be happening, and the G League competition and stuff.
I think right now they're just having fun with it.
Yeah,
Death Star, giant eyeball.
I don't think that Death Star was an actual one. I think that was photoshopped. It didn't look quite right.
I did wonder. It looked a bit strange.
Yeah.
But
with the giant eyeball.
That's definitely real, and it's creepy as shit.
Yeah, it's creepy as hell. Like, to see that on your flight in or out of Vegas, it's going to be like, oh, the creatures from the depths of hell have started to rise, especially if you aren't aware of this place.
I think I've spoken about this before, but it just makes me think of that one comic I seen years ago where it's, person walks into the kitchen, it's like, morning, or like Harry, or whatever, and it's a giant sentient eyeball that lives in my kitchen, stares. I don't even know why I fucking bother. Is this
what's his face? Fucking, I did a collab with him. John. I can't remember his name. I don't
think it is.
Because he's got a giant eyeball series.
It was like in response to a Tumblr post. Like it wasn't just a comic.
Got ya. I'm gonna find him. I can't think of it. No, it's gone from my head. Like, so many things that go from my head. This is just another one. I'm probably more likely to find him on Instagram.
Me, hey, how was your day? The eye that floats unblinkingly silent and untethered from time in my kitchen. Stares. Me.
Okay.
Don't know why.
So it's not Galbor it's not Galbor the whatever eye.
No.
Hold your phone up. Let me see it. I want to see it. I'll just screenshot and... Okay, yeah. That is definitely not...
No.
No. Yeah, very different. I guess we've got some time to go into art talk then, if we're already starting to talk about comics. We can. We don't have much art talk today, this week. As always, the floor is yours, Brogan. What do you got to share this week?
Something I actually forgot to mention when we were talking about this. What I'm going to talk about is stuff that's not going to get posted. So this is your exclusive
That's
look.
Fine. It's perfectly fine. Will it get posted for patrons on the Patreon feed? You can say no.
I don't know. Very possibly. Because I do like it. I am proud of it. But I don't want to post it publicly for certain reasons.
Yeah, that's because it's not ready for public consumption.
Well, there's the one you're thinking of, but this one specifically, which is another TikTok thing.
Oh, okay.
Which was the clip from Brooklyn Nine-Nine about Rosa and the dog.
Yes. Yep.
I've only had Arlo for a day and a half, but if anything happens to him, I will kill everyone in this room and then myself. And it's just me holding Mox and Pen, Mox, Pen and Teller, Mox, Pen, Teller and Glenn, Mox, Pen, Teller, Glenn, Teller, Matt. Just all of them. I worship the ground that the Penn and Teller organisation walks on. I would kill a man for them. Yes, I protect them. So I don't post it because I don't. It's one thing posting stuff of Matt and Penn and Teller and even Mox because they're in the public domain.
Yeah.
Glenn does not post pictures of himself, and it's one thing drawing him for Penn Sunday School postcards.
Yeah.
It's completely another thing to do it to post it for public consumption.
Yeah.
So
you've made a TikTok video animation of it, but you haven't posted it to TikTok, is what you're saying?
Yes.
You've used the sound, which... Yeah. That makes sense.
So
Makes sense.
So there's that. And the other night I was thinking, so when we were in Vegas this year, the boys asked if I could throw together a bucket show poster. And a few nights before the show, and I panicked and threw something together, and it was fine. It was fine. It wasn't great.
Not memorable because I can't picture it in my head whatsoever.
Yeah. It's essentially, I used the same assets I used when I made the bucket show stickers ages ago. Not memorable. So I was like, it's a good exercise and nothing less. So I thought I'll do a couple of test examples. The first being a parody of the Step Brothers poster. What's the bucket show?
It's pretty good.
Thank you.
I do like it.
I think it came out really well.
I've also noticed coloured eyes. Is that new?
Yes and no. It's new with the coloured lines.
Yeah, like the dash eyes.
Yeah.
Are colours. Yeah.
I'm still testing that out because sometimes, depending on what colour, sometimes it sort of fades into the skin tone. So sometimes I'm like, does it need to be on the multiply layer? Does it not? To make it darker? I don't know. And one I noticed actually, an old drawing of Jacob, which has the coloured lines. The eyebrows were on the multiply layer. And the eyebrows are the same colour as the hair. And that really, because Jacob's drawn as a blonde. But when I took it off, it really showed up. So I was like, this is going to take some experimenting.
Speaking of blondes, I don't think there was any hate or anything behind it.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
But the thing is, I can also see it, though.
Yeah, I 100% see it, and I fucking hate it.
Yep. Where your Brian Brushwood was saying, people were saying it looks like Adam Savage.
It does look like Adam Savage. What pissed me off about it is people kept tagging Adam Savage.
Yeah, I know, right?
Fuck off.
I'm guessing these are people who are following Brian and are not necessarily in the Scoop community and familiar with your work.
Yeah.
Or the cheese bag community. Yeah. Let's say that too.
It annoyed me. It really annoyed me.
That's why I purposely didn't say anything but you seemed pretty angry that day, and I'm like, I reckon that's why. Like, you had made some other tweets or comments or something. I'm like, I reckon that's the reason.
It probably didn't help. I think I was probably more angry about work stuff, but that definitely added to it.
Probably, yep.
And I think it annoyed me because it's like if they had just said, haha, looks like Adam Savage, I'd be like, oh shit, yeah, it does. I think there was one particular tweet that says, nice try 7 billion needles, that's Adam Savage, and tagged both me and Adam Savage, and I was like, fuck off!
As if you didn't fucking draw it.
Exactly. I'm like,
I'm familiar with this. More recently was when I've drawn Scoop John B in some comics. Where it's forced me to draw comics, where it used to be star in a comic. That's why he's in it, and everyone was like, no, it's that is such and such, this particular YouTuber or some shit. I'm like, no, it's not. I fucking drew it. Yeah. It's my buddy John. He just happens to look like that as well.
Yeah.
Well, they look different to each other, but it's
It's like,
but and then. A long time ago, when The World's End came out, the third movie in the Cornetto trilogy, I'll show you it. I should have it. I'll find it.
While you're looking for that, what I will say is,
no, I won't. I don't have it on hand.
Oh,
that's fine. What you will say is,
I'm still experimenting with stuff. The reason Schwood is so blonde is because I messed with the colour palette, and that is the blonde from Spiky Hair era. It's the bleach blonde. I need to tone it down when I'm doing normal hair Schwood. And I know that, and it was only after I posted it that I thought, fuck, I meant to fix that.
Yeah.
And then people started pointing out, and I was like, and it's because I gave Schwood his goatee instead of his beard.
Exactly, that too.
You know? So, but at the very least... I take heart in the fact that Schwood said, I consent to be a hunky boy for July.
Exactly. Yep, he did consent.
Affirmative approval.
Yeah.
So at the very least, if there are no other printed calendars.
Yes.
Y'all just might get a calendar that is literally just wood.
So when The World's End came out, the third movie in the Cornetto trilogy,
Yes.
I don't think I was drawing comics or anything then. But I was drawing like things here and there. And I drew there was a Facebook page for The World's End.
Yeah.
And people were submitting art and things like that. So I was like, oh, I'll make a poster type thing. And it's 3 cornettos, one representing each movie. So you've got the first one is red cornetto, Shaun of the Dead sort of silhouette on the cone. You've got Hot Fuzz on the blue one, again. On the cone silhouette, and then the last one, I was like, I think I did it green or brown, whatever color I did it, right?
Green seems like
it was fucking wrong.
Oh, so you probably did it brown.
So I did it, because I hadn't seen the movie yet. I knew nothing about it, so I would have done it brown for the World's End silhouettes, and then everyone's like, oh, it's great, but it's the wrong fucking cornetto color. It's stupid. What the fuck? So it's basic shit like that, which they're gonna look at and complain about.
Yeah.
So I changed it. I mean, whatever. I don't give a fuck. It makes sense. I wasn't. Look, the movie did not live up to the other two.
Yeah.
I'm saying that now.
Yeah. I think
World's End,
Hot Fuzz,
not as good.
absolute peak.
Oh, peak.
Yeah.
Because I went into it blind, knowing nothing. I reckon World's End would have been better going into it blind. But yeah.
I think I loved it because I was... movie was rated 15. I was 14 when it came out. And I begged my mum to let me go. I begged her. I was like, please, please let me go. And then she surprised me by taking me... all 4 of us went to the cinema. Dad and Mitchell went to see something else, but Mum took me to see Hot Fuzz. And she enjoyed it. And I think that
good.
was... I liked it even more for that.
Yeah. See, I like Simon Pegg. Spaced and a bunch of other movies that he's in. Yeah, I tried to watch it all. I tell you, fucking Tom Cruise. There's so many Mission Impossible movies I will never watch, even though Simon Pegg is in them.
No, what you really need is a supercut of Simon Pegg and Mission Impossible.
What I need is the movies to be remade shot for shot with someone else other than Tom Cruise.
That's what deepfake should be used for, to remove problematic people from films.
Yeah. I have a question about your Step Brothers Bucket Show poster.
Yes.
The text at the top, the Matt Donnelly and Paul Mattingly.
Yes.
See how you've got a red outline around it? How did you achieve that? I assume this was done in Procreate.
Yes. So there are 2 layers of... So it's the... Type it out, duplicate the layer.
Mm-hmm.
The one on the bottom is the colour you want filled. The one on the top, you change to the colour you want the outline to be. And then...
Yeah.
In the settings, where you've got bold, italic, all that kind of thing, there's an option that says outline.
Okay, so it's just outline text. Yeah. Okay. So you can't control the thickness of the border then, can you? I've mucked around with it. If you can't do it to the level that I want, because I've got ways to add stroke to text and other things.
Yeah.
Like, say you wanted to put a thick black line around Matt Donnelly's head, or Matt Donnelly in general. Yeah. Do you know how you would do it?
Off the top of my head, no.
Okay, cool. That's fine. But then again, you're not using strokes at all anyway, really. Yeah. So, which is fine. That's fine. I was just interested to know if you knew a method that I didn't. Yeah. That was all. Yeah. All right. Have you got any other arts to talks about?
I don't think so. There's stuff, again, that I'm working on and that I keep thinking I need to do that, and I will do that this weekend, and then I don't. Yeah.
Preaching. Although I did manage to, I did stream this weekend. I did draw a couple of comics on stream as well. First time I've drawn in a while, just a 3-box comic, square box comic with characters just talking, as opposed to like the last panel having a reveal or something like that. Yeah, which used to be basically 99% of my comics. So yeah. Speaking of which, it's not going to be those comics talked about this time, but it is time for the podcast within a podcast, the Not So Good at This podcast.
Not so good at this.
The first comic we're looking at today is comic number 431, working title, Jesus Saves. It's 3 panels long, and in the first panel we see some kind of street preacher holding a giant cross, and someone's approaching him, and the street preacher is shouting, Jesus saves! In the second panel he continues, convert now and reap the rewards of our Saviour. And then in the third panel, the person that he was preaching to has come across a building called Jesus Savings and Loan, and then the quote says on the building, he died for your financial sins. That's the comic. And that comic is big thanks to patron Jobeth B, who only banks with Thor First National. Yeah,
I like that one.
there's that one. It's okay. Yeah, it's not my favorite.
Not so good at this.
And the other comic we're looking at today is comic number 432, working title Long Time, and it's 4 panels long. In the first panel, we see a touching moment between a mother and a child. The child is handing the mother a necklace, or what looks to be a necklace, and the mother is saying,
Oh, sweetie, I love it.
and in the second panel, the mother has put the necklace on and is admiring it and says,
I'll wear it forever.
and in the third panel, the child responds, forever is a long time, mother. And in the last panel, the child, clearly possessed by a demon entity, is floating in the air, eyes pitch black, tentacle arms bursting from the nightgown. A long time. That's the comic. And that comic is big thanks to Andrea A, who understands the plight of the ancients, whatever that means.
I have a slight question about this comic.
Yes,
Were you
shoot.
inspired by Treehouse of Horror by any chance?
No, I was inspired by myself.
Oh, no, like not
'Cause
not for the concept, but for the design of the last panel.
Oh, it looks a bit Kodos and Kangi, does it?
It reminds me of that episode where Maggie is the daughter of Kodos or Kang. I can't remember which.
Yeah. No, not at all. No, because I have a similar comic where it's little child standing on the bed. It's like, Daddy, there's a monster under the bed. It's like, oh, sweetie, don't be silly. There's no such thing as monsters. And then the child is basically in that same pose, and it's like, oh, isn't there, or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But Tentacle Child. I like Tentacle Child Monster. So we're at about time. So I guess it's time to do the the Patreon obligations, isn't it?
It is.
For the First
First
time. First time. Big bowl, big bowl, big bowl, big bowl, big bowl. Who would you like to thank today, Brogan, for being a kind supporter of Hey Buddy Nice podcast?
I would like to thank with all my heart Jobeth Bowers, Judgmentalist.
Okay.
Are we saying both names?
Well, I reached out and he said Judgmentalist.
Cool.
But everyone knows Jobeth has been on the show. Friend of the show,
Friend of
Jobeth
the
Bowers.
Jobeth
Friend of the
Bowers,
show.
Judgmentalist.
Yep.
Runner of Elton Magic, my boss, my friend.
Technically, you're on the payroll of Elton Magic, and well, technically, we're both on the payroll now of Elton Magic there, because really, patrons are the bosses, aren't they?
That's very true.
Yeah. So, and another person I would like to thank this episode is patron Andrea Anderson. Andrea, I've reached out to ask you if that's how you would like to be thanked, as Andrea or any other name. See, the thing is, when you become a patron, I'll send you an email from Hey Buddy Nice Podcast, and I'll ask you, how do you want to be referred to on our cheese bag section of the website, during the show, depending on what level you support at. And I say, look, it can be your real full name, your screen name, your stage name, your scoop name, your cheese bag name, all of the above. I don't care. We don't care. We'll say all your names. I'm reaching out
the
right
day
now.
that Dr. Jim becomes a patron.
That's who I'm reaching out to right now. King Lord Mr. Dr. Jimothy Joe Mycicle Joe Esquire the Second or Second. I can't remember how it goes now. It's been a while.
His Majesty.
His Majesty. Yes. Royal Highness.
His Royal Highness.
But yeah, if you would like us to say your name, I don't know why. It's just an extra benefit. It's fun for us, that's all. But if you would like to have bonus content, for example, it used to be available for everyone, but it's patrons only. Bonus content which we cut from episodes and we record before and after. Patreon.com/nicepodbud. That's all. Just check it out. There's 3 different tiers there, and a secret tier which we never talk about and never will. That's awesome, but that's fine as well. If you really want to support us, the best way to do it is sharing the show with people. If you see us on social media, interact with us. Keep up the conversation, basically. Sharing posts is how other people see them. Like, you might know people who don't know us, and that's great. They might like us. If you think they won't like us, don't share it with them specifically. Specifically, leave them out of the full circle scheme. Is that what it's called? But you can also email us admin@nicepodbud, or go to our website nicepodbud.com, which I need to talk to you about after this, Brogan, because I had my time frame wrong for our web hosting, because that expires and sooner than we thought. So the website might disappear for a day or two, or if you have anything that you want to say to us, share your art crimes. We haven't had a user submitted art crime we had one a couple of weeks ago. We enjoy user submitted art crimes, so send them through. But you can also support Brogan financially directly by going to, what's the website again? I always forget.
7billionneedles.com. It's the number 7, the word billion, and the word needles.
I don't really forget. I just like you saying it. Yeah. But look, for me as well, best way to support my comic is if you see it on social media or in the wild, tag me, or if you see it posted by someone else, or retweet, thread that shit. I don't know if you're on Threads. I don't know how that works. I'm on Threads.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not coming. I mean, we're staying on Twitter, if for no other reason than Elon Musk will not win.
Of course. Yeah. But also twitch.tv/Wayne Geo. That is what would really support me at the moment. If you can drop in on some streams, if you go to the schedule there, you can see when I stream my comics, and then I play games randomly. Like this morning, I did. I say this morning for me, won't be this morning for you necessarily, but yeah, check it out. But also, you can talk to Brogan directly on social media at 7billionneedles.
And you can talk to Wayne directly at Wayne Geo.
That's right, even on Threads. So are you on Threads or not? I wasn't sure.
I have no idea what Threads is, and I don't know if I want to look at it or not.
Okay. No, Threads is like this Instagram. It's the Instagram version of Twitter. I don't know. It's just, yep. I feel like it needs to be done at the moment. But then I thought that about Hive, and we never used that anyway.
Well, exactly.
Anyway, thanks for stopping by and having a listen.
As always, stay fresh, cheese bags.